Okay, so is my audience. These are my note cards. Okay, so most of my friends and people that I knew growing up in middle school and high school hated studying about things like math, the economy, or just about anything to do with business in general. But I was one of the few who actually liked studying and learning about these things. People who like studying about math and the economy and end up pursuing it as a career path in college have a very wide range of career options that they could choose to pursue once they graduate, depending on what degree they so choose. I decided to choose economics as well as a minor in business. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about how I chose to get into economics and some of the different career fields that I would be interested in pursuing as an economics major graduate. So I'll start by telling you what my ideal career occupation would be as an econ graduate and how much that person would ideally make and what that person's day-to-day activities would ideally be. Okay, so it was actually, it actually kind of runs in the family. My family is full of economists. We actually have three people in my family that have different economics degrees, and they actually all share the same occupation as a market research analyst. And this is kind of what sparked my interest in the field. I definitely think it would be a good thing having family to kind of guide me and direct me in the right way. And it's definitely what got me interested from an early age. And now I know it's definitely what I want to do as a job when I graduate, ideally. But if you're confused about what a market research analyst does, I have an example according to John Demos from CNN Money. He said a market research analyst would do is gather and analyze data on consumers and competitors, and also study the market conditions to examine potential sales of a product or service overall, and aim to help the companies understand what products people want, who will buy them, and at what price. This might sound boring to some of you, but this has always been something I've been interested in, analyzing things like numbers and data. And I also conducted a job interview with one of my family members by the name of Kirk Birrell. He's a market research analyst at PepsiCo. And he had a lot of interesting points to say about his job, but I'm just going to give you a quote of him talking about what he likes about his job for the sake of time. And he said, quote unquote, "The best part about being a market research analyst is that the position is in high demand and runs across all industries that need research to succeed, and is also the second highest growth rate of all jobs." So it's in very high demand, which is good for people just getting out of college. Aside from that, according to Salary.com, the median salary for a market research analyst is around $56,000 annually, with the top 10% earners earning around $70K and the bottom 10% earning around $44,000. But other than my interest in pursuing a career as a market research analyst, I also have high hopes of returning to school and obtaining a master's degree in some sort of advanced economics program. Getting my master's degree one day would make it so I could maybe fulfill my dream of becoming an economic executive of some sort at some company. And I have a lot of reasons for wanting to do this. For one, it's obviously a lot better pay. According to Salary.com, the median salary for the typical economic executive is around $256,000. And the bottom 10% earners earning only $144,000, and the top 10% earning a whopping $360K a year. And for two, the job description just sounds to me like something where I'd be interested in. I still do like the idea of being a market research analyst, but obviously this is a little bit more appealing. According to Salary.com, an example of what a top economic executive would do on a day-to-day basis would be to provide economic data, to prepare interpretive reports, and provide leadership for the companies of the use of economic data and adaptation of economic models, and also communicate the results of the economic studies to the stakeholders and to set guidelines for corporate economic strategy. And also his job to understand the micro and macroeconomic environment and what the potential impacts of that could be on the industry or even your company. And this job requires a PhD and at least 15 years of experience, which is why I'd have to go back to school and obtain my master's degree if I ever wanted to do something like this. And I also have a quote from a former economic executive by the name of Jonathan Wasserstrom. He said, "I love that as an executive, I get to be involved with every aspect of the business. Building a company is a very rewarding process. I love seeing the growth and plans for the future, and I love that I get to map out the trajectory of the company and look ahead to tomorrow's success." These are just a couple of the different career fields that I could pursue as an econ major, especially if I go back to school and obtain a master's degree. The options are basically endless. It's a really broad degree, and I'm passionate about it, so that's always a plus. But as I continue to progress further into my early stages of my career, I always keep in mind a quote that my grandpa once told me about work and life, and that's those who do what they love for a living never work a day in their life.